Hey guys, Zuzunatural here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. If you have joined me in the past and you're subscribed, thank you. I appreciate you. If you are new here, I make videos on clean green beauty, self-care and wellness, and crystals. If any of those topics interest you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and do that. And I thank you for joining me. Today we are going to do a crystal video. It's time for some crystals. So we did our unboxing the last video. This video, I wanted to answer a couple of questions. So I did the Q&A, but I wanted to answer one very specific question that I get asked all the time, different variations of this question. And so if you want to know what that question is, stay tuned. The number one question I get asked all the time, whether I'm vending, whether I have a question in the comments on a video, whether someone's just asking me in person is, how do I choose a crystal? How do I choose the perfect crystal for me? I get that all the time. And the first thing I want to say before I jump into how, I want to say that don't make it difficult. This is not a difficult thing. It really isn't. And I know that a lot of times with these type of topics, we can really get dogmatic. I try not to, because I really feel like there's really no wrong way to do this. As far as crystals go, now obviously there are certain things that you don't want to do. If there's crystals that shouldn't get wet, then you don't want to get them wet for whatever reason, whether they might rust or dissolve or, leak toxins. But in general, there's no wrong way to do this in general. And so don't make it so difficult. Don't make it so hard. Just don't. Be easy on yourself. So my number one is choose the crystal that speaks to you. By speak to you, I do not mean actually verbally says, hey girl, what up, bro? No, I'm hoping that the crystal is not doing that. If it does, then I don't know. I don't know what kind of relationship you guys have, because I have had people come up to my table when I'm vending. I remember I had one guy and he was like, he picked up a piece of malachite and he was like, did you hear that? And I was like, no, I didn't. And he was like, and he's giggling. He's like, he's having a good time with this malachite. I don't know what was going on between them, but what I do know is I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. So anyway, I digress. So let your crystal choose you. So what I mean by that is pick the crystal that speaks to you, that catches your attention, that you are attracted to, whether it be because it's pretty, whether it be because you like the color, whether it be because it's sparkly and shiny, maybe you like the shape, whatever reason it is, it does not matter. Go with that. So a lot of times people will come up to me when I'm vending and go and pick up something. That is the one right there. That first one that you picked up is the one. But what happens is they put it down and they get overwhelmed because you have so many crystals and then they think they're doing it wrong. And they're like, well, wait, which one should I get? And I'm like, the one that you just had in your hand, the one that drew you over to the table, the one that you picked up immediately and oohed and ahed about. Doesn't matter if you don't know the name, doesn't matter if you don't know what it does not matter, because I guarantee you, when you go ahead and you get the name of that crystal, write it down because you will forget, and you look up the benefits and the properties of that crystal, you are going to be in awe. You know what you need. You do. You may not think you know what you need, but we always know what we need. Our biggest problems are standing in our own ways or not listening to our own selves. So you are going to be in awe when you look at the properties and you go, oh my gosh, this is what I needed. This is what I was looking for. I need this. Yes. So that's my number one way to choose the perfect crystal for you. Second way to choose a crystal is to choose a crystal based off of your zodiac sign. I think that's a really good way to choose a crystal. So there are so many crystals associated with your zodiac sign. A lot of times we'll know one, and it might be the one that the jewelry industry pumped to you. It might be a more expensive gemstone, but there are numerous crystals associated with your zodiac sign, sometimes as many as 10 or more. And so go ahead and look that up. Find out what crystals are associated with your zodiac sign and choose one of those. Because you'll have a grouping, you can go ahead and see which one of those speaks to you. And because it's a crystal that's associated with your zodiac sign, it'll be a crystal that will help you along your life journey. It'll probably end up being one of your favorites throughout life, not just like a specific situation that's happening right now. You'll probably revisit it all the time. For example, I'm a Scorpio. And so for Scorpio, there are numerous crystals, but some of the crystals associated with Scorpio is rose quartz. And so rose quartz attracts me. I love rose quartz. I have a rose quartz ring right here. Lapis lazuli is another crystal for Scorpios. Black tourmaline. Love black tourmaline. And everyone should have this in their collection anyway, because it is a protective stone and it helps ward off negative energy. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful crystal to have. What else for Scorpios? Citrine. Citrine has been one of my favorites since I was a youth. Yellow topaz, that's also another, and can cost you a little bit of a grip, especially if it's gemstone quality. So though aquamarine, those are crystals that are associated with Scorpio. So you could look those up and see which one of those speaks to you. And so do that for your sun sign or star sign and go from there. So that's a good way to choose a crystal as well. The third way is to choose a crystal based off of its properties. So if there's something that you're going through, for example, maybe you want to choose a crystal that's associated with the throat chakra. You're trying to find your voice, your authenticity, what makes you unique, right? You might be looking for something like that. So you would go with sodalite, something like sodalite. Maybe you'd go with blue apatite. So any of the crystals associated with the throat chakra might be something that could help you. Maybe you're going through some sort of heartbreak or you're looking for love. You would go with a crystal that's associated with the heart chakra. So you could go with rhodonite, one of my favorites. You could go with rose quartz. You could go with pink opal. You could go with malachite, which is one of the green stones, which is more associated with the healing aspect of love, as opposed to the emotional side of love with the pink crystals. So you could go with one of those. Maybe you have anxiety or stress that you're going through. You could go with lepidolite. One of my favorites, love it. Has lithium in it. You know, lithium is found in all sorts of anxiety medications and bipolar medications. And so you could go with that. You could go with fluorite. Fluorite is a wonderful one. I used a lot of fluorite when I was studying for my crystal certification because it really helps with studying, retaining that information and helping you be able to bring that out when you're taking your test. So this is wonderful. Or maybe you just want a quartz crystal. So like this is the master crystal and if the universal crystal, and it helps with clarity and amplifying. So maybe you want to start with this. And as a matter of fact, when people don't know where to go, usually I'll just say, get yourself a quartz. You need this in the collection anyway, so go ahead and grab that first. And then a bonus way, I know I said 3, but I have to give you a bonus, is to choose one of the crystals that I think that everyone should own in their collection. I have a video that I did that has the top 5 crystals everyone should own. Those crystals are rose quartz. Go ahead and get you a rose quartz. Can't go wrong. You're going to want to have it in the collection anyway. Amethyst. Go ahead and get you an amethyst. You're going to want to have it in the collection anyway. Choose the amethyst. And a lot of people have heard of rose quartz and amethyst, so that usually helps. Selenite. Selenite is one of my favorites. I have a video on selenite. Check that out if you want to know what you can do with selenite. Go ahead and get you a selenite. You're going to need it in the collection anyway. Black tourmaline, one of my favorites. I love this piece. It has beautiful, beautiful micas. You see it shimmering and it has the little quartz in it. Go ahead and get you a black tourmaline. You need it anyway. And clear quartz. Go ahead and get you a clear quartz because you need it Anyway, so those are like my top 5 that I think everyone should own. So if one of those other 3 ways don't work for you, go ahead and get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those crystals. Those are my ways to choose the perfect crystal for you. Always remember that you know better than anyone. You know what you need better than me and better than anyone in this world. So always choose and believe that. But if you need a guide, I am here for you. If you have any questions, drop them below. I have not been able to get to my questions and comments as much as I'd like to, so I'm going to try to do a lot more crystal Q&As so I can answer just a large grouping of them. But we do have people in our crystal community that answer the questions, which is nice, and I appreciate you. So drop that below. If you have any favorite ways that you think is to choose your perfect crystal, drop that below. Yeah. So that's it. That's all I wanted to come on here and tell you guys today. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Zuzunatural. Peace out.